What is going on, friends? Welcome back to the Honeystead. If you guys are new here, my name is Kaylee and I do a little bit of everything between foraging, gardening, growing herbs. I'm an herbalist, I'm a beekeeper, and we also homestead and do a lot. We build a lot with our hands. And when I have an opportunity to take the camera with me, I do. I wanted to come up here and show you guys some of the projects that we've been working on this weekend. My kids came up and gave me a hand with filling 7 of our 100-gallon grow bags. Now I have 7 more that we're gonna be filling on that side here soon, but as you can hear, it is rainy and it is wet, and so right now is just not the time to go ahead and plan on filling our bags. So I'm gonna wait for a couple of days when it starts to dry up a little bit, and then we'll get those filled, and I am excited. So I kind of shared some of the seeds that I wanted to try this year between, you know, growing medicinal herbs. Black cumin is one that I'm very excited about growing, but my goal for in here is to really turn this space into just my everyday garden, you know. So right now we eat a lot of leafy greens, so I'm hoping to plant some lettuce in here, some carrots. I also want to do ginger and turmeric and kind of create this space as more like I'm gonna come in here and harvest as I need, versus the outside garden, which that is going to be a whole nother project that I'll be sharing with you guys along the way. But I wanted to show you these bags. Hoss Tools did have multiple different sizes, but I went ahead and decided to get the 100-gallon and see what I think. And so far, I am quite impressed. So we ended up using some of our sandy red clay kind of soil in the bottom. And then for the majority of the bags, we ended up filling it with our own dirt and compost that we have been tending to for the last, I don't know how many years, but it definitely saved us a good bit of money instead of having to bring some soil in. Now what I like about these bags so far is they are super durable. We ended up filling it with 4 wheelbarrows full of our soil and then also our compost. So I should start planting here in the next couple of weeks. Today what I want to do is take some measurements because I want to actually build some potting tables that I can use in the middle of the row, but then also kind of move them to the side when I'm not growing in them, or when I'm not actually starting seeds. But I feel like having some tables in here will also be great because most of the times whenever I start seeds, I'm either here on the ground or I do have another space that I start my seeds in as well. But my hopes are to actually, you know, kind of use this place a little bit more. And if you caught in one of my last videos, I spoke about how I want to use this space to start offering it for some of our workshops. One of our very first workshops that we have coming up is going to be our seeds and tea workshop. So we're actually going to come up here and we're going to start our medicinal garden that everybody gets to kind of go home with, and then we're also going to brew up some tea and talk about all the medicinal properties and just kind of share that mindset of, you know, you can grow a medicinal garden and, you know, just give everybody that encouragement, and of course have some really good tea. So this is going to be the space that we're going to be using for that. And then of course outside too, because I'm hoping that the weather is going to be holding up, and we've got a lot going on this year. So I'm gonna actually build 2 tables for us to start seeds. They're gonna be 5 feet, and I'm hoping, I would love to have like one really big one, but I think 2 5-foot tables, possibly more depending on what wood we have. My husband and I have been doing quite a bit with some woodworking, and I'll take you up to the barn and show you what we're working on right now. As again, we try to do a lot here for ourselves, and wood building things, that's kind of our That's kind of our passion. Do you want to go? Do you want to go? Put the rock down. This gloomy weather. I'm thankful that it's not snow and it is just some misty rain, but it does make filming outside a little bit difficult, so we're gonna kind of be quick. But I've been sharing with you guys probably for a little while that our goal is to move our honeybees. So this is my apiary right now, and it's in my garden. I never anticipated having that many colonies, but now it's time for us to actually move the bees. And we're gonna actually move them out of the garden and create a beautiful spot over here. So I'll be doing that here in the next probably month before it starts getting super warm. But that's gonna be coming. I can't wait. I drew it out. I can't wait. So more to come on that. But what we have been working on, and I'll show you this weekend, we've been quite busy. And so when we move the bees, we basically need to have a place to put them, a stand. And so that is something that we've been milling wood for and building, and we got a good bit done this weekend. We had a couple of oak trees that fell on our property, and some white oak, and my husband was like, you know, that is a good strong hardy wood, and instead of actually going and spending money on lumber to build our hive stands, he went ahead and milled them up and pre-planned it. I'm actually gonna take the measurements and put them together probably in one of my newsletters, that if you aren't familiar with the newsletter, like in us sharing that, I try to put one out at least every week, typically on Mondays, and it has the newsletter, possibly a blog that kind of goes with it. So it kind of keeps you guys informed, because it is very hard sometimes with all of the things. And my friend Jill from Whispering Willow Farm and I are actually getting ready to launch a growing guide ebook for growing a medicinal garden and how to grow it. So that's going to be kind of coming out very soon. So if you want to kind of stay informed between speaking events and all of that information, you can just hop on my website. That link is going to be down below. And I'll also put the measurements in for the hive stands. Now that is not a design that we did. There was some modifications because we are kind of using rough cut lumber, but you know, we want to use what we have. So that is kind of the ultimate goal. Now, they came out great. I still have a few more that I have to stain. And then I just went up there and kind of talked to him about building 2 5-foot long tables so that we can actually use them for seed starting in the apothecary. And because we're getting ready to go into seed starting season, I want to show a program that I am really excited to use. It is called Seed Time. I've grown a garden for about 14 years, 13 or 14 years. And in all honesty, I've learned a lot, but there is always room to learn more. Gardening is something that I love. Like, I love growing food. I also love going foraging. That is kind of my go-to. I'm kind of the lazy gardener. So if you're very much like me, well, welcome. You have a space here at this, I'm not at a table, but you have a space here. And there are some things that I have realized about myself. One of them is I'm not the greatest about keeping track on when I plant things and then when I need to harvest them. I have lost many ears of corn because I've harvested too late, you know, and I didn't really lose them. I mean, they ended up being turned into feed for my animals. But I know that I could get better. And so I reached out to this company called Seed Time to see a little bit more information about what they have to offer. I saw an ad on Instagram, and I know that I have a few friends that actually use this program, but this is my first time, you know, opening it up and looking at it on the computer. And for a person very much like myself, where if it's not like written in front of me, I'm gone. Like, I'm gonna forget about it. It's gone. I just, you know, that's just kind of life. But what I like about this program is you can, first you put your information in, where you're located. It'll give you your grow zone plus your last frost date for, you know, spring, and then also going into fall. But this might be a game changer for my garden this year. So this is a programming app that they've developed to help plan your garden. I went ahead and put my location. It gave me my grow dates. But what I like is this is going to be super helpful for me to put in, like, what am I growing? What's the crop that I'm going to grow? And I am going to start, let's go ahead and do some corn, because this is one that I know that I've messed up with. So I've got corn, select variety. You can put in all of that. You can also change the color. So let's go with a very light yellow, and I'm gonna go ahead and schedule it. And it gives me, so today's date for corn. So actually, look, so next month, no, April, it tells me when I need to start preparing my garden beds, and then when I can direct sow. And this is what I'm excited about. If I start, when I start it, I have the dates on when I need to harvest it. That right there is really gonna help me, because I've messed up a lot. So corn, I already have that scheduled. Now let's go to some bok choy. Now I'm actually gonna start some bok choy in the high tunnel probably really soon, but I'm gonna add another crop, add a crop. Let's go to bok choy. Let's change the color. Let's go to that color. Boom. So I can actually start that next month. It's gonna say bed prep, so basically tending, transplanting. That's gonna be really helpful because I do plan on starting some of them in seed starts and then going ahead and harvesting. So I am hoping to take all of the seeds that I'm actually planning on growing and putting them in here and then printing this out. This is really going to be, oh look, and I can even say, like, it's gonna be Honeystead garden. This is the free program that you can actually go on to and do. But this is something else that I'm getting ready to upgrade for, because I do sometimes need a visual on what it looks like. So there's a little video on this. I haven't upgraded yet. I'm actually gonna sit down and do that probably here very soon.
The plan is as simple as drag and drop.
But look.
Just slide the slider across your calendar timeline of when each crop is planned to be growing. Drag the crop into your layout, and then you can adjust how many plants you want to grow or the space you want it to fill up. You can completely customize
this is gonna
your
be
plant
so
spacing
awesome.
and row spacing, get creative with intercrop and companion planting, and then easily view how your crops will occupy your garden space over time.
I am so excited about this.
Tools to maximize your growing space for bumper harvests all year long.
So right there, the bumper harvest, I'm not gonna lie, like, that is what I need help with. There is so much to do in life, okay? Homesteading, working, gardening, growing, raising animals. The projects that I have coming up, you know, I almost need, I'm gonna treat this program like my project manager for my garden. If I were to sit down and have to write in all the dates, which I've done before, you know, I've written the dates of like, when do I need to sew it? And then honestly, I've lost, I've lost my notebook, which doesn't help. I'm really excited about this program because I think it's gonna help manage the gardener. And this is what I need help with. And if this is something that you might be interested in trialing as well, there is a invite friends link that I can put down below that you guys can get access to it, and have a custom garden plan for your garden this year. And then if you are interested in doing the layout like I 100% am, you can upgrade to that if you choose, but I still think that this is probably going to be the most helpful tool this year for my garden. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of this rainy day and put all of my seeds that I'm planning on growing in here. And then as I go through it, I will kind of keep you posted on, hey, this is what it looks like. This is what my garden looks like. I'm also gonna print this out and I'm probably gonna laminate it. And in all honesty, I thought about that too, because if I'm not looking at it, I'm gonna miss it. And one of the things that I've done in the past is I have a chalkboard in one of my greenhouses that I will keep for a visual for myself, but it won't work if I don't write on it. So I think by laminating the schedule and then putting it there, it will help me 100%. I know I'm not alone in this world. Like, I know that there are many gardeners that are just like me, but if I can use this as a tool to help manage my garden, manage myself, then that is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna get to typing since it is gross and rainy and Moose is napping, which I really want to be doing, but this is a perfect day for me to be sitting down and working on dreaming for my garden. So as always, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn something old. Bye guys.